Number 12. Okay. Thank you.
As guided by your communication from Parliament, we have a written response to the 12 issues. The 12 issues that were raised in the petition that was sent to us from your office. In addition to that, we have some documentation that was requested by your communication that we have already submitted to the clerk in a file. Chairperson, we refer to your letter of 13th March 2020. Uganda National Bureau of Standards takes note of the contents of your letter and the attached petition by Uganda scientists, researchers, and Allied Workers Union to the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, to which we respond as follows. UNBS categorically denies the allegations raised in the petition as being untrue and in some cases baseless, and respond to them as follows. Number 1, massive wrongful, unlawful, unfair dismissal of UNBS staff. Our response is that all dismissals at UNBS have been done lawfully and in accordance with the Human Resource Management Policies and Procedures Manual, which we have a copy submitted to the office. Clause 10.4 of the 2014 manual affords staff in alleged breach an opportunity to fair hearing before a decision is made. Where an employee is not satisfied with the decision of management, he or she may raise an appeal to the National Standards Council. The National Standards Council is our governing body. Through the Executive Director within 14 days after receipt of the communication, according to Clause 10.4e in the manual. While some staff have ignored and chosen not to exploit the appeal process, those who have opted to exploit it have been heard and reviews made accordingly. Allegation number 2.
Maybe on that one, we have, because they were disputing the human resource manual. Which one are we?
2014. The current version is October 2014.
Okay. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since there are 12 items that we did yesterday, we should do one by one, so that we also intervene. In order not to have backlash, so that all issues, number 1, we ask and we get clarification on all the issues also, so that we move one by one.
Okay.
That's the procedure.
All members, will that be? We settle
One by one.
the point and then we ask questions. Okay? So the first one was that all dismissals have been done lawfully in accordance with the Human Resource Manual, and there's a hearing. There's an opportunity for hearing before the decision is made, and the employees, if not satisfied with the management decision, appeals to the executive director within
The council.
appeals to the National Standards Council through the director. Why is that process like that? Why should I, when I'm appealing, why should I again pass through the ED? Who is saying that I should go?
The secretary to the board.
Or is this at the same time the secretary of the board? Oh. Some members you have had that passes through the ED because the ED is at the same time the secretary of the board. When does the National Council of Standards sit? Does it sit every week, every month, every quarter?
The law provides that it sits at least twice a year.
Twice a year?
At least twice a year.
That means
But current practice is that quarterly. Quarterly, we have a council meeting, and if there is any matter arising, we can have special meetings to review the issues.
Okay.
So, Chair, in the event that there is a complaint of that matter, how is the council constituted? Does it consider it as an emergency? Is there or requiring for an urgent sitting or something, given the fact that maybe quarterly, 14 days, maybe a short notice to the council? How are human resource issues managed or handled by council, especially requiring disciplinary proceedings?
Okay.
The council may sit when there is business, but those are not now regular meetings of council. They become special council meetings.
So on the matter of dismissal.
So if, for example, there is dismissal because there is timelines involved, then we are required to notify council, be able to sit, have a special meeting to consider the issues.
So did all these disciplinary matters you have on this file, because they are quite many, the ones we have as a committee, did they go through the procedure of disciplinary processes as per the human resource management? We need a copy of that human resource management.
All members, I think what might be required is the evidence that maybe he has it here that these matters were considered by council. So and so, that was the minute. So and so, that was the minute.
Chair,
Do you have that information in the file?
Chair, I have submitted that while some staff took advantage of that process,
Yes,
others did not.
Okay.
So it is a case by case.
So for those who pass through council,
They have been heard.
and you have the minutes for the discussion.
Chair, maybe for purposes of the report of the committee, we will need that information in the file. Because
Okay.
this is a very, very extensive matter.
Now that's why I'm asking. If it is here, then you point to the point here. You point us
We need
to.
the record of those who went through disciplinary proceedings and those who did not go through disciplinary proceedings.
Okay.
And then maybe
These
also
No.
need to be on file.
Okay. It's
Chair.
Yes.
Every staff went through disciplinary proceedings.
Okay.
What I'm
That's the
submitting
management.
is,
Yes, that is management now.
yes,
Okay.
it is the appeal process
Okay.
which some of the members, some of the staff did not take advantage
Okay.
of.
Of the appeal.
The appeal process.
Okay.
Yes.
Appeal.
Not the disciplinary process.
The
The
council.
appeal process. That is the clause that we are quoting
Okay.
in our response.
Maybe if we can just ask generally first. Is there a subcommittee on human resource in the council?
Yes.
There is a disciplinary committee on the council.
Not a disciplinary.
Okay, like a subcommittee on human resource.
We have human resource and administration committee of the council
Okay.
with the clear terms of reference.
And those how many people?
5. I think there are 5. 5 plus me, 6.
Okay. So we need the composition of those members and who heads that subcommittee.
You want it now, sir?
Okay. Pardon?
You want it now?
Yeah, you can write it or you can submit it. Yes, please.
According to the petitioners, if we even look at the appeal, they also said some of them were not given a hearing. So I would do the view that the ED could give us minutes that show that all these people went to the disciplinary committee. As the people have appeared in the disciplinary committee for the last 3 years. So that we have it on record and we compare with what we have.
That is from which statement? And who referred to
We are
it?
still on the first
Still
item.
massive.
Open the massive.
But before you look at the appeal,
Mm.
there was an issue of people not being given an opportunity or unlawfully dismissed. So when they said that internally that was done, I proposed that for the last 3 years, the team submits documents that show that that committee has been sitting, so that we compare with the names of what we have.
Also, Chair, from the onset, we need to know the number of people we are talking about. What is the number is this what is we have on the file of UNDS? I see 12. Are those the affected people we are dealing with as a committee? What is the number we're talking about in terms of the human resource who is affected?
Okay, they are also talking about massive.
Because they are talking of massive. When
Okay, they are saying 37. They are saying to this date there are 37 former staff that are litigants against UNBS, and many more such dismissals are underway. What do you mean by underway? Are you processing people for the dismissal at the currently, or what's?
Chair, we are not in a position to answer that question because it's not we who submitted that issue.
This will require
and we don't know where it is coming from. All we can present, as requested by this committee, is how many of the staff that have been dismissed in the last 3 years.
Because this is a statement on file, said it is disturbing to see that UNBS is still carrying out dismissals. Is it a policy? What is it? I thought somebody does something wrong and then you dismiss.
That's what we have explained, Honorable Chair. We have a procedure for dismissal. Now, that allegation, we are not able really to offer.
Okay, but do you have people under disciplinary committee now?
Right now?
Yes.
Right now, we have? No.
Currently, you don't have any people under...
No ongoing.
No ongoing.
No investigation, no... So this statement is not right?
The claim of 37 vis-a-vis the 12 we have on file. UNBS is saying they are only 12. They have perhaps the former list of cases involving former staff. Can they clarify that? And we deal away with it.
Okay, so what is 37 against 12? So where is the difference?
Chair, in your requirement,
Red file.
in the red file, you asked us to submit a list of staff who have left UNBS during the last 5 years, and the reasons for their departure.
Okay. So for you only not 12?
Chair.
Yes, please.
Thank you, Chair. The committee was informed that there are about 6 staff court ordered to be reinstated back. But we decided to pay them from home without giving them back their jobs. I think that
is this one in the first? Well, that's a good question, but is that
Maybe we first discharge this one.
first discharge this one?
Yes.
Let's first discharge this one. Because we have 37 quoted in the petition, and we have a list of 12.
What happens with the difference?
Well, Chair, if not confidential, I'd like to see the names of the 7 mentioned by the petitioners
Oh,
for verification.
let's see. Well, members, do you know, You have a list somewhere?
It is, I think, on their next chart. UNBS 42
Okay, 39.
from 39 of the petition.
39. Okay. Can we give them one book so that they see right from Ampuera David to
On page 39, Chair,
what is there?
you have UNBS staff lists for appeal to end national, I think this is the council concerning the HR manual.
Oh, these were.
Okay, this is just under petitioners.
Okay, they were petitioning against the HR man.
Petitioners.
Okay. What about a list of?
But maybe, Chair, in terms of the 12 we have on file, because the complainants may be more than one. So you see, in a matter like the second case, we have quite a number of people. So it may be just one person as the complainant, but there are others. So if we got hold of the detail of these cases, maybe that's when we'll understand how many persons are affected. If you look at Richard Kazungu, the last case, 12, Baile, Willie, Barinaine, Arthur, and others.
On page 8.
On page number 8, in the red file, the cases involved.
Number 8.
If you look at them, it's not just one individual.
Oh, okay. There are many, but the items are total. Number 8 has like Billy Patrick, Atsime Collins, December. The first one has Moses Sebunya. What is this? No, the second.
Sebunya suing the administrator, Tessa Nagai.
This is a
One complainant.
This is a court.
These are court cases which have been discharged, right?
They haven't been completed.
So maybe there are those that have been discharged, dismissed, or completed court cases. Because these are still pending in court, are there other cases that were taken to court against UNBS that have been completed? So maybe that explains the figure. Honorable members, there are some cases that have been completed, so they are not indicated here. So maybe they need to give us a whole list. They are also indicated, right?
Like number 3, science.
Number 3.
Number 3.
Yes. And number 1.
But Chair, this is a very important matter. We should not just gloss over. The Human Resource Department exists in UNBS. It must be having records of people who have left in the last 5 years. It is a simple matter that we cannot, rotate over.
Is there a list that has?
This is here. We apologize.
That's where it is.
This guy, because you have just received these documents, you have not read them to you.
That one, the last one.
Chair, it has a back cover page like this with this logo.
That one, Chair, that
So
one.
if you read us,
For every year we
we
broke
will
it
have
every year.
this one. Oh, you did year by year.
Year wise, yeah.
Yes.
And the
So what you
results.
do, you lead us to your annexes. But enough that they were not. Yes. Okay. So this we have a list of staff who have left
The last 5 years.
In the last 5
UNDS during the last 5 years. Yes, we have 1 year begins 2015, 2016, 2016, 2017, 17, 18. You guys. Why are these people leaving?
Yeah, the results are given at the end of it.
Okay.
At the end of the form.
19, 20.
This chair is not all disciplinary.
Okay. Some have retired.
Departure.
Yeah.
Some have died, some have gone for better.
Mr. Chairman, this is where
And the ones which have been dismissed are also indicated.
Mr. Chairman, I think-
Yes.
and this is where I think the allegation comes from.
And the dismissal.
So if you happen to have the minutes, especially for the disciplinary before the appeal,
Yes.
we'll be able to know the number of those that appeared and those that did not appear. So I say, Mr. Chairman, you should have minutes for those years that show that these people are given an opportunity to be heard.
Okay.
So that we don't have that case of that allegations of saying they were just dismissed.
Then, Mr. Chair, maybe also, as in a nutshell, would the EP or the human resource tell us briefly why is it that it is very clear that there is a high staff turnover? What could be just in a nutshell, because it's clear, why is there a high turnover? Could it be related to all these complaints or what is it?
Okay. Yes, doctor. Can you just briefly, why would are the majority of these ones retired? Are the majority of these on dismissal? Or the majority of them have just left for green pastures? And that information is disaggregated a bit.
Chair, that is a subsequent question coming, but I can answer it right away so that.
Yeah, generally for us to understand.
Yes.
If there is a crisis or
You see,
yes.
Chair, Chair, the issue of what is high and what is low has been debated within the organization, because anybody can say it is high, but we need to know how do you categorize high or low. So we debated that, and through our risk management discussion, we established an appetite, a risk appetite, to be able to inform the organization whether actually the turnover, staff turnover is high or not. Chair, I don't remember the figures for that, but I can get it if given time. We don't feel that the turnover of staff is high in the bureau.
Okay.
For us, we are taking the turnover, those who have left for better pay, vis-a-vis the total number of employees at UNBS. And the percentage is really small. We have also noted that actually that movement is in particular departments.
We are saying, for instance, I'm seeing imports. For those who work on imports, 2019, 2020, dismissed for gross misconduct, beginning from Bararaine. So what are these? Because they are common.
Now, you will note, Honorable Chair and Honorable Members, that most of the cases that we have had in the last 3 years are largely in the Department of Imports. That is a very challenging department when it comes to breach of HR policies and procedures. And through our internal audits, many of them have been caught off guard and they have gone through disciplinary measures.
Okay.
That's why you see the large number from that department.
Contract not renewed. We have the farthest line, reason for exit. Please read it through. Another offer. What does another offer mean?
Better offer, should have been better offer.
Other institutions.
These are green pastures. These are pastoralists.
Career growth is another better.
Well, we are not in the top paying institutions. So people normally, when they have an opportunity, they move. For us, we are happy when they move and they stay in Uganda. Because they still offer services after training at UNBS. So,
is it because of the small contract phrases?
Better pay means, as I said, we are not in the top 10 paying institutions in this country. So, when an opportunity comes, these young people move on, and we can't stop them.
Like on imports, the inspector. Inspector, a whole inspector. Inspector, this is somebody who have. Is it a low-level cadre?
It's officer level.
Officer.
It's officer level. Inspector is officer level.
Okay.
So can we associate this, can we generally conclude as a committee that the performance of the FBS is not up to maximum because of employment, human resource challenges and what? And as the council really taking this as a priority, because we've come before this committee on these same issues. It's not the first time we are hearing that UNBS is affected in terms of performance because of staff issues. But we are also noting that it's just not also gaps of staff, but also other staff management perhaps and general policies in line with staff development and growth and maintenance as an institution. It's a general comment I needed on that matter. But Chair, we need them to have these documents on file because the petitioners recommend for an in-depth investigation. We may not be able to conclude here and now why these people are leaving. When we look at the file, we have dismissals. There are about 9. Of course, we are not concerned about the dismissals, but also there could be other reasons besides the dismissals why people choose to leave. And we need to look at that in detail.
There's better offer and another offer. Better offer, another offer.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
I think in order for us to also do thorough investigation, I think they will also give us contacts for all these people so that we're able to interact with them on phone to our technical team and confirm some of these things. As far as they give us the way it is, the reason for exit, and you also have the telephone numbers of these people, then you can do our sample investigation and see whether these are false.
Mr. Chair.
That is admissible?
Mr. Chair, yeah.
Yes,
so, still on the same. When you go through the list, you find that, like you have said, there is better offer and another offer. Another offer is also too many.
Too many.
And another offer means that somebody is opting out for maybe at the same level or even lower. And then also resignations are rampant. And then personal business. The reasons are have some kind of doubt.
Do we need any further information apart from the contact? Because we want to conclude it.
Then, maybe something else we could take note is those whose contracts have not been renewed. There are also quite a number, and I have tried to correlate with the list of the cases. Some of them actually in court because their contracts were not renewed, so they should be also reasons why their contracts have not been renewed. Besides the clear dismissal. Also those whose contracts have not been renewed.
Human resource, can you provide information? Contract not renewed and in court. So what is the correlation? You have noted?
Sorry? Yes, I have.
You have noted. The correlation between contract not renewed and then in court.
Are you able to provide the phone numbers?
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah, maybe we can ask generally.
Chair, when it comes to provision of the phone numbers, we may not be able to do
those you can.
everybody.
Those you can.
Yeah.
Those you can on file.
Yeah.
Those you can.
Yes.
And I was just asking generally, these people who have petitioned are unionists.
Yes.
Do we engage unions? Do you have meetings with unions? No, on the phone numbers I say those they have, they'll provide. Available. And we shall use any of them to. So this question is do you engage with unions? Because unions have therefore engagement, moderation, negotiation. Do you engage the union? Because we're asking them here yesterday that there are many levels of governance. Why do you come to parliament and go into court? Those should be the last. Do you have engagement with those members? Like if there's a disciplinary committee, is a union representative allowed to sit in and hear?
Do they even have one?
Yeah, they have a union. But I must say, is a union member, at least on behalf of employees, sitting to hear and then devise means together.
Chair, we have engaged with the union, but we have had disagreements on the method of engagement.
Okay.
That's point number one. Point number two, the council, through its subcommittee of HR, has engaged with the union representatives on a number of issues, as explained in our responses here. One of the issues that had been outstanding was the constitution of a committee. My lawyer is here. That is the way they call it. That is the committee that links the union and management. Council directed that be constituted, reconstituted actually, which was done. And we met with the union executive.
Okay.
We could have maybe the timeline on that. And we agreed on a number of things, which we are still waiting up to today.
You are still waiting
for the feedback from
the union.
One of the issues that was outstanding and of the issues that they were raising were already in court.
Why would you go to court when you are engaging?
They had already gone to court.
Okay, they had already gone to court?
They had already gone to
then
court.
Then you tried back for engagement?
Then when this committee was reinstituted, council requested the union to withdraw and come for negotiations with the committee. That is still outstanding. It has not been done. Number two.
Let me first finish.
Number two. The union raised issues as far as promotions is concerned. They raised issues about the contracts, the form of contracts that were being given to staff.
Form of contracts?
Form of contracts. The nature.
The nature.
Of contracts.
Specifically 3 years?
3 years, and the various clauses under that contract.
Okay.
Council advised that they submit proposals
to the human resource manager.
To the committee of council, the HR committee, of how they would wish that managed. They have not done that. 3, the HR manual, policies and procedures manual 2014 has been under implementation. And as we implement new policies, there are challenges. And we ask staff to be able to raise those areas that may be not good for them for review by council. We ask all staff, including the union. While some staff have given us the proposals, which are actually currently being looked at by a consultant, the union has not responded to that. So, there are issues. So, we feel that actually, much as we have constituted this committee, we don't have business that requires us to engage. We are still writing for the feedback.
Because some of the things that have been told to the committee needed some kind of evidence. Because that communication is very, very important. Is there any evidence of that communication?
Okay, the letters that have corresponded between you and the union on matters of please engage on this matter. Please give us feedback on these matters on record, so they could be brought, and then we see whether they have been engaged. Because why I'm asking, we also used to work some places, but union members used to have a position on the board for proper engagement. And two, unions would on a day-to-day be allowed to meet members of staff and say, please, this is the money. If we are caught stealing, we are not going to stand in for it. That is a fait accompli. When you are caught stealing, when you are caught this, so that engagement helps the human resource manual have a harmonious relationship between members. Because at any one time, it will be one of the senior members in the same problem. So we are asking for that engagement. Is that engagement there? Because as the union, they always propose for salary increases, promotions. Like on the promotions, they say there is a time you did across-board promotions. But this particular department, called the meteorology, no movement was done at all. Reasons? Because it was part of the meteorology people were part of the petitioners. Yes? So first and
engagement.
Okay, that was all.
Actually, when we were discussing with the petitioners, even willing to engage.
Yes, they were saying they are willing.
And they were saying during this issues of court should go for court. But the union is very ready to engage and resolve it. So we don't lose money. So I still want to request Mr. Chair that the ED submits all the letters to the committee that show
between the engagement,
the union, and the union and the staff, and the union has totally just refused.
That one what we say? That one said is okay. Honorable saying.
Mr. Chairman, I didn't understand because the ED pointed out that they are going to court.
Yes.
Now, if they are in court, then why should they come to Parliament? Because matters in court cannot be debated. Why don't we wait until the outcome of the court? Because it seems there must be something wrong. If you're already in court, then why do you run to Parliament? Why don't these petitioners wait until court takes a decision?
Yeah, because that question was asked yesterday, and then we say for those issues that are in court, we shall not move further investigation. But for those issues that can be solved, because there are many other issues. So those are the issues that we want to find.
My fears, unions have a habit of amtwisting management.
Yeah, but that's
this is what I've discovered anywhere.
But we agree that we shall not discuss issues of court, especially those cases in court.
No, we agreed not to interrogate the matters in court, but we said we shall at least handle those issues that are not in court and that can be solved by management without any further agreements.
But I don't know which ones those are.
Chair, we have information as a committee that the ED and the team that is answerable has been invited by court for mediation several times. And they have not gone. Perhaps at that stage the matter would have already been resolved if the institution was responsive to attend court process, because mediation is one of the basic stages at court process, so that the matter could have been resolved at that point in time. We don't continue with the court hearing, and those are words which may cost the institution in the long run.
Yes, honourable member.
And the evidence.
Do we have a legal person here? Yes. Why didn't you respond to court? Because we have letters of court here, issued by a judge, and you never responded. Maybe tell us what you have done.
Mr. Chair, we have a response on number 6.
Number?
Number 6.
Oh, okay. This is coming first. It's coming ahead.
Yes.
Okay.
But she can answer.
No, we shall be.
We can elaborate more on that.
Or we lose it. Can we answer? Okay, answer number 6. Impunity and subordination. Number 6 reads impunity and insubordination of the executive director. UNBS ED of Acts. Okay. This is by the legal requirement to have a consultative committee in all government institutions under the public service. We have requested him to do so many questions. The permanent secretary, Ministry of Public Service, also requested him to constitute a committee. Is this committee there?
Yes, yes. A 5-person committee chaired by the executive director is in place with 4 other members, with HR department represented.
Okay.
As provided under this act.
Okay. So these issues are went up to the permanent secretary, Minister of Public Service. Okay. Then the permanent secretary invited him for mediation discussion on labor issues. He refused. The only hearing, he refused. The chief judge on this report invited him for mediation, but he did not show up. And you have read after that. If they talk of ED, you are the representative on legal matters. You refused.
No, I don't remember us refusing to appear. Thank you very much.
Okay.
If you look at our response, we discussed it, and I do not remember whether we have failed to attend or refused to attend at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development talks. And we have always appeared.
So did you go to this judge they're talking about?
We have always in the industrial court. We have so many.
Always.
If you look at it, no, why I'm saying always,
There are many.
the list of cases, many of them are in the industrial court.
Yes.
And we have never been to attend to them.
Because you have a letter. You get a letter. Can you show it? There was a letter, so
Or was it incompetent on the side of the legal
Maybe this is
department?
one of the.
this copy. Did you respond to this one? On 2015.
Notice to appear for mediation.
Notice to appear for mediation.
On which matter?
Can you listen? Yes. Legal, please.
Let's first look at this.
There's something.
Yes.
I'm saying here, as if UNBS and the Gross Service of Authority, they were not using this one, they were using Max. So I don't think this one is the right person.
Actually, they have a lot of. Someone said they have a lot of money. They don't want to use.
Yes. We were told yesterday that ED you don't use your legal department, you don't use your human resources people.
So she's not the right person.
You use what?
The private.
Expensive lawyers.
Expensive lawyers.
Procedure, Chair.
Let him just answer that. We'll lose it.
Chair, I don't know what the issue is, because we don't expect that you have in-house capacity to handle each and every issue that comes. It's not only in legal matters. We outsource many other Other professional services of the institution.
So among them is lawyers.
Among them is the lawyers.
On
Yes,
employee
because
issues.
even the legal people understand they have got areas of specialization.
Okay.
And Mr. Chairman, we should have those lawyers to give us.
Okay, we shall reach there. What were you saying? Is that the matter? It was the matter of using other lawyers away from the corporation.
Maybe to be more clear, Mr. Chair.
Because they said they are overwhelmed. How many lawyers? How many people are in the department?
Right now we are 3. Originally we were 2. Only one joined recently, but I had person.
So you are overwhelmed. You can't handle human resource issues.
Chair.
We handle the internal stuff.
Chair, the lawyers that we have are not just there to handle HR issues.
Okay.
UNBS is a regulatory
Body.
And we have issues.
So they are mainly.
Even the team that currently is there is not sufficient. Because almost every day we have to appear in the standards court to defend the work of UNBS.
Okay, with customers.
Yes.
Customers.
Exactly.
Taking it to court.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's not that these people sit and wait only for HR issues.
Okay. Okay. So you are just trying to hire away from the corporation. Okay. So on the matter there.
Yeah, on that matter, let them dispose that.
Dispose of that one.
Maybe for guidance, this is a matter that is sub judice. Before court right now.
Okay. So nobody responded.
No, someone did respond, but I'm saying I beg to be guided by the court.
No, we are not going into the issue. We are not going into the matter itself. We are just saying, did you respond? That's
You were given summons to appear, you did not appear.
for mediation. Have you
Maybe
engaged?
as a matter of procedure, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, I don't think when we have issues in court, they cannot give us even like the status. What is the status of that case? They should be able to give us the status. That does not mean we have interrogated into
The matter.
Yeah, we should know the status. What is it? Have you responded? Are you responding?
On that issue, as a matter of fact, sub judice is kind of defined as to how far we can go into a matter.
Yes.
Just it being in court is not enough for you not to tell us if you appeared,
Yes.
to show us evidence of your appearance, to show us if you have also submitted maybe a response or something. It is when we get into the intricacies.
Obey the instruction of court.
This is what they are calling impunity.
So,
Legal, please.
Okay, yes, now in response to that,
Yes.
since it's a 2015 letter,
Yes.
I would request a committee to allow me to produce evidence of
Okay.
that we, if we did appear or not.
Okay.
Because I cannot recollect from here.
Please. The faster the better. So, members, can we
but maybe also on that particular point, the petitioners seem to indicate that the ED or UNBS has been called upon several times since appearance and they have not. So the response she should give should not only be in regard to that letter, but also these other times.
Okay.
Before the Minister, Permanent Secretary of Gender, then Industrial Court, there are several allegations.
Even the judgment which is there.
So please, there are many. You have the
judgment.
We shall give you a book and you see the correspondence they have given and those matters that you have not responded. Okay? Honourable members, can we leave that point and then you go? No, but you did not answer my question, sir, or the team, that do you engage the union? Do they have a representative? Maybe with human resource person?
Chair, I answered that. The only thing that I didn't answer was that actually on our disciplinary committee,
yes,
they are represented.
They are represented in the disciplinary committee?
Yes.
Okay.
When we are instituting a disciplinary committee, the union is represented.
Okay, you give us that composition.
Mr. Chair,
please.
Perhaps before we go forward, I request that we understand the composition of the council, because the council keeps coming up, council. Who are these people?
Okay.
Can we even get the details? Who are they, the persons in the council?
But we shall have time to engage with the council.
Sure.
Yes, we are going to call the council. and they'll come with these responses.
All right.
Okay? But also, it is important that the list is given to us and we know it. Because that is the board of UNBS. Okay?
And its subcommittees.
And the subcommittee therein. Okay? Thank you so much. Gross abuse. What process haven't we done this?
Chair,
Yes.
I asked a question
Yes.
regarding the 6 staff that were ordered by court.
Oh, okay. Does anybody have information? The allegation was that there was 6 staff who were on disciplinary. Court ordered for reinstatement. You reinstated the salary and they were not reporting to work for 2 years. Only recently they have turned up.
Chair.
Okay. Any information, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Chair. Court ordered many things,
Yes.
and I only hear only part of
Yes.
what court ordered.
Okay. No, about the staff.
Yes,
About the
about the 6 or 7 staff.
Yes. 6 staff human resource. The names?
Yes. So, one of the issues or one of the orders of court was for the council to complete the investigation process.
Council to complete the investigation process.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's what council has been doing. They completed that process after 2 meetings. I think it was 14th and 28th of March. And no, January. It was January. It was 14th and no. They met twice on that issue, 14th and 28th of January. And the matter was concluded in the meeting of the 25th of February 2020.
This February. Okay.
Chair, can
Yes.
we submit a copy of that court order for this committee?
Okay. I think that's okay.
It is a judgment.
It's a judgment. Okay. I think that one we can handle. That's not subsidies. And then, so, Doctor, the petition was that they have worked for all the time. So what you are saying, you ordered, you obeyed the court and restated salary, but then went ahead with the investigation. Where they are told, getting half salary, full salary, full salary, and then they have come back.
They are coming back on the 1st of April.
Okay.
So, Chair, what was the judgment on? I missed that.
We shall get the copy.
No, he's saying they are going.
They are going to give you a copy.
We are going to get that copy on that court order that they be reinstated while investigation with the council. So we shall get a copy of that. Okay? I think that one is finished. But also a loophole in the way things are handled. Could they be handled by management without going to court? Those are the issues.
Chair, we can have a discussion.
Okay.
I don't know whether you want to start that discussion here
Is this
or you want us to complete the submission.
Okay, let us complete this.
This submission,
Let us complete the submission.
and then we can have
Those
that,
concluding
that discussion.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
Chairman, just one clarification. Marks and is it pre-qualified your service provider?
Yeah, that issue is coming
It is
next.
coming.
It's actually coming
Coming
next.
next. It's coming next. Yeah.
It's coming next. So if we can be allowed to
Mr. Chair.
handle it.
Okay.
Just as a matter of procedure, we have handled that number 1.
Yes.
But there are also recommendations. I think it's not bad for us to have, I mean, the petition as a kind of
To read the
recommendation.
recommendation.
What would
The
the
petitioners
authority,
are recommending
That an independent committee should be set up to investigate all
Which has-
cases wrongfully
which
specified.
has been said? Maybe.
This one we have said, for those in court, we cannot go for.
Yeah,
But for those that that are not in court, we will make recommendations.
Yes, and then also they were saying it can be
In resolving several disputes against. Okay, it said, and also play a mediation role.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. What do they say about that?
The mediation.
Of course, what the petitioner was requesting the speaker is what the speaker has done.
Hey.
He has set a committee. A committee is there, I mean.
This is the committee.
So we are saying,
what are you saying about those recommendations? Because
now that they have seen the recommendation, what are they saying? Some of these issues should be amicably settled.
No, but the chair, with due respect to
for those that you can, those are not in court.
those recommendations, is it to management or to
Council and management?
because we need to be sure
So council and management, because you
that
have all the layers.
that we should do what, sir?
They are saying that, and also play a mediation role to save UNBS from losses and in resolving several disputes against this.
Who is playing the mediation? Sorry, I have not understood that recommendation.
Okay, you read it and you at
No,
the end of the day.
I don't have it.
Because it's on record. It's on record.
Yeah, this is the
It's in the petition. This is in the petition. Yes. This is not ours.
Okay. An independent committee.
should be set up to investigate all the cases.
By who?
I think
No, but
according to
not the speaker.
but
It becomes the
The
independent.
independent committee.
so this
So when we are management, the petitioners, and also the
The
council.
management.
We
Anyway,
are saying, let's find the whole.
okay, let us go through the things as resolving the matter as going forward. They will give us the solutions. They themselves will give us the solutions, and then we see how to amicably solve this.
okay.
So, to be clear,
Yes.
an independent committee, which is this one,
Yes.
should be set up to investigate these cases which you are currently
Which we are doing.
and also play a mediation role.
Yes.
Which you are doing.
Which we
This independent committee.
yes. Which we are doing.
Yes, so
That's what
really I don't have anything to say about that.
No, we are saying at the end of
It's
the
a
meeting,
requirement.
no, at the end of the meeting, you will give us your proposals. You will give us your proposals as to how you will solve those management problems. Because as a committee, we have budgets next week. We have,
I thought we shall hear from them and upload.
that's what I'm saying. We shall hear from them. Okay, as we end this.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you, Mr.
Okay.
Chairman.
Later, as we complete some. Okay. The gross abuse were finished. There's no recommendation. Then an important. Number 3, an important. Hey, the word is big. Okay. An inactive standard national standards against. Number 3. How active is this?
No, Chair, there was there was an issue raised about marks,
Okay.
which is under number 2.
Oh, okay. So number 2, please answer.
So on number 2,
Yes, MMK.
it was part B, I think, of the petition. With respect to using external lawyers, despite having a legal department, the National Standards Council held an extraordinary meeting on the 27th of August 2012 and resolved that recommendations be sought for law firms to engage in both commercial and labor-related cases for the Bureau. Following this resolution, and in accordance with S88A1A of the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Act 2003, which provide that procuring and disposal entity may procure consultant services using a short list of consultants developed from the register of providers of the authority, that's PPDA. UNBS obtained the names of the following firms from PPDA. A, B, C, D, E.
Kasiri Kalenge, MMK, Lex Uganda, and Nangwara.
As part of due diligence, UNBS then wrote to the Law Council requesting for information on the record and fitness of the listed firms, and Law Council replied to the effect that the listed firms did not have pending cases against them. That is UNBS, wrote to each of the farms for their farm's profile, and Max was chosen as the most suitable farm to give us those services. The selection of Max and government works were therefore done in accordance with the law.
Okay. Maybe you should have chosen two, one for employee-related matters and another one for commercial disputes.
Chair, we are guided by the council. Only for only one.
I think the petitioners say it was not pre-qualified. So I think we will also provide evidence.
Record for pre-qualification.
Yes.
Okay, record for engagement.
Yes.
Okay.
For engagement so that we confirm.
No, he will give us. They will give us the information they have given us in writing. That we have done this, so that correspondence should.
But also, Chair, what is the justification for Max? Is it in terms of affordability or expertise? And what are the reputations of these other firms? Why would you opt for Max? What is the justification?
So, Doctor, can you repeat what you said about that matter? Why choose an outsider, do the legal work, and what the record is said?
Chairs as submitted. The council at that time was concerned about issues related to commercial. That is our regulatory function, and labor-related issues concerning the staff, and required us to beef up the 1 or 2 person department to handle these issues. And we sourced for these firms in accordance with the public procurement and disposal of assets guidelines. Now, the due diligence is regulatory and commercial. Who of those have better expertise as far as CVs and all those are concerned? That is how we came to Max.
Maybe as a clarification, Mr. Chair, maybe I would want to know whether does your legal department, what role do they play in the process of selecting such private service providers? What role in if it is the council, does the legal head or what sit in that council, or how do you involve your legal team in as far as selecting these outside the law firms?
Chair, this is just like any other service, and to go through the procurement process, requiring the evaluation, requiring contracts committee approval, and then contracts signed. Okay. Now, in evaluation, it requires that the user department is represented. And in this case, I want to believe that the legal department was represented in the process.
Okay. So we may require the kind of an evaluation report as a part of the documents needed for proper investigation.
Okay. Honourable members, we go to the next one about UNC. Okay, maybe these ones they will answer themselves. Okay, briefly, but we shall have to interact with them. Okay.
No, I know, Chair, that they may answer, but
yes,
I think as management,
the custodian, as their secretary.
Yes, I think first of all, we don't subscribe to this type of language.
Yeah, the language was.
And but we shall discuss that later. When it comes to an important National Standards Council, as far as management is concerned, the National Standards Council has always interacted with them. I thought we did mention this earlier on, but let me repeat. Let me repeat it.
Yes, substantially answered.
Yes. Has always interacted with the union on issues concerning staff, among them the formation of a consultative committee under the Negotiating, Consultative and Dispute Settlement Machinery Act 2008, which is now in place. The Council also requested the Union for their views and proposals concerning the amendment of the HR Policies and Procedures Manual 2014. They have failed to submit these amendments to date. Furthermore, the Council engaged with the Union and they were asked by the Council to withdraw their case so that negotiations can proceed with, but to date they have failed to do so. However, the General Secretary, Mr. Keno Robert, in a petition raises serious allegations, very serious allegations, against the personalities of the chairperson, National Standards Council, and the executive director. We would also like to request this independent committee to separately investigate and have Mr. Keno substantiate those allegations. Otherwise, we are also at liberty to take legal action on that matter. And we don't take kindly on the language used by Mr. Keno.
You mentioned the name. What was that? Okay, say the chairperson of this board, one Mrs. Masitula Munyama Male, has told several staff that she fears for her life. Oh, okay. So we shall have to. We are going to engage. We are going to ask for more information, and we are going to engage the chairperson if what is alleged.
Mr. Keno should
substantiate. Okay, agreed, please. Members, I think we shall have to engage both the chairperson and Mr. Keno on that allegation. Then, unclear contract for executive director. The contract is okay. In your answer, you are saying the contract is attached here.
Chair, it is the first contract attached in this part.
Appointment of the post of, okay. So the allegation was that his contract is not known, not clear when it started, when it will end, terms and conditions. All members, we have a contract here. Yes, Doctor, when were you first appointed?
The current contract, sir?
No, the first.
2012.
Okay, this is the first one. 2012.
No, that is the current. We attach the current.
The total of his current.
What did you attach?
It began 2012.
2012.
Is this the continuing contract? HR, please.
There's the one of 2016.
This one is the current one.
The current one is before.
Yes. Okay. This is 2016.
The current.
Okay. It is in the trenches of how many years?
4
years.
4 years each. And that is the human resource money. Or the act. Okay, I'm inquiring about the contracts. The contract of the ED was petitioned against. And then they say they don't know when it began, they don't know when it will end.
It's unknown.
They don't know the years in between the contract. What they are saying, yes, Rico, help us here. Help us here. When does what does the human resource money mean?
No, Chair. When it comes to the executive director,
it is the act.
It is the act.
I was asking the act.
The act.
Yes. So the act says we are on
number 4.
Number 4. We are on number 4. Unclear contract for the executive director. Are we together? So we are saying, when did when did he begin? When was it renewed? So I asked the legal to help us on the matter of the act. What does the act say? Because that is a matter of
UNBS public service.
It is not clear in the act. It is providing that the minister shall appoint, unless we amended that act. The minister shall appoint the executive director.
Yes.
For a term.
For a term. Is it now?
4 years.
For a term of?
4 years.
The terms and conditions are determined by the board.
The board.
However, in their submission, they say that the council made a resolution. The council made a resolution where they gave terms. Okay, if may go, it's not even great. But point number 8, contracts for technical staff in the submission of UNBS. On the second paragraph, it says this decision started with senior management, which started with senior management is being implemented in a phased manner and is in 20 stages, awaiting the availability of funds to pay terminal benefits. All staff are guided by human resource policies and procedures manual and provides for unlimited term limits of contract for 3 years, other than those of senior management, which is 4 years. That are limited to 3 terms only. So from what they've submitted, I take it that for senior management, of which the executive director falls, they have an opportunity of having 4 years contracts for 3 terms only, right? Am I reading it right? Yes, so and...
But the ED is excluded from that.
From this?
It is now the parent act.
Oh, okay.
The ED is excluded from that.
Please help us on this.
But the amendment 2013 of UNBS Act, if you can get there, it is 4 years. For the ED.
Yeah, contract of 4 years.
Parliament refused the 5 years. When we were amending the Act, you actually refused, as Parliament rejected that.
So it was made clear in the amendment that you get 4 years, renewable.
How many times?
Once.
Otherwise, you serve 2 terms.
But your legal team can look at the amendment. It has other issues there, but it is 4 years.
Okay, and so that means you're in your second term, right?
No, I'm in my first term, as far as the amendment is concerned.
Okay, just give us.
In your first term.
When was the amendment done?
2013.
2013. Then you began your first term.
Yes.
Which year?
2012. No.
2016. That's what is on file.
Because the first, I think, is this.
So as the amendment was being done, you had a running contract.
Yes.
So you are beginning with a new amendment.
2016, moreover. When did
2016.
the act take effect?
2013 in October.
Please, you extract
But
she will extract the.
she will do that for you.
And then we see when it begins. Because we have to write the information here to say the contract, the act was amended to provide for a 4-year term, that it is clear for everybody. And it is a 2-term.
Yeah.
And is running his first term with an option of a second term. Okay? Clear?
Yes. That is the legal person will bring up those things.
Honourable Member.
Chairman.
Yes? Questions?
There's also something here. This is made worse by the executive director. Is way past the retirement age of public servant. He is currently 64 years. One wonders why he is not retired.
Still on the same.
Regarding the institution into this including
The traditional language is way out there. But okay, the reason is.
But the issue is
yes.
The 64 years. So I think that will also be very important to talk about it. So that since you are not given a copy of the petition.
Any comments, sir?
Should not be the limit.
Chair, I don't know when you look across government,
Yes. But in the contract, in acceptance,
that issue of 60 years is when you are on permanent and pensionable.
okay. This one is the contract C. Okay. But they are alleging rightly, but they don't know the requirements.
We shall discuss, as I said, we shall discuss each of those later.
Okay.
Because you need to be in the picture of what is going on.
What is happening?
By that information, also now understand this. The 60, we were talking about public service, not government.
Okay.
That information is also very
Please.
The question is, are they under public service?
Is the ED employed? Is it public service that does your interviews?
All the staff.
Yeah, but public service, as long as they are contracts, they can. I think that one.
We are body corporate.
So
And be sued.
they can hire and fire. Okay. So I think that one we leave. Irregular recruitment of top management by deputy. You are here.
That's another hostile one.
Deputy, they say director. Okay, that one was finished.
All the directors.
But you have said Patricia Bagine, Jalu, and John Paul Musamami is where?
He's one of the colleagues.
Okay. And then I've talked of
This one.
Myself. now.
David Livingston Ebiru. You are here illegally. Then
I think that's and HR.
And Susan, the HR manager.
HR person.
hey.
Those illegal.
They consider those problem people to them headache, giving them headache.
Let's go on by one.
Shimani Source, please.
But let me submit because she's also part of
Okay.
they are alleged illegal.
She might be emotional and then start crying when they want her out. Okay.
Chair, our response.
Yes.
Recruitment of top management, and in this case, we are limiting it to the ones actually that the petitioner is interested in, is in accordance with this manual. The sections are quoted there. While the ED is by the minister, and I'm sure you'll be interacting with the minister to give you more light on that. Chair, in addition to what we have put here, we have got their contracts. Their contracts in this file. The first one is the ED one. You can skip that one. We have disposed of that one. The next one is for Deputy Executive Director, Technical Operations. She is no longer called actually Technical Operations, but at the beginning that's what she was. She's now Deputy Executive Director, Standards. Patricia Bagene Jalo. Her contract was actually renewed recently.
President,
Yes, please.
I think the query is not about whether they have appointments or not. I think when I see the executive director, Dr. Ben, was appointed without any interview. His position was never advertised. But the minister mere appointed him without any clear criteria. I think we procedurally right. If we went one by one. The deputy executive director was Miss Patricia went through the interview where she was the third among the three who were interviewed. To everyone's surprise, she was appointed. So then she was third in the interview and she became the first. So if we read what is here, then we get evidence that there were the right people in those positions. Okay. I think we'll be moving.
And it will be taken through the entire process for each of them. Was the position advertised in the first
We have all the
place?
documents.
Was the interviews done according to procedure? Because there are accusations here how others were shortlisted, others were called later on to say they were shortlisted erroneously. when it was advertised, how many applied? How many were shortlisted? How many were interviewed? Who came first?
The HR was appointed without
So that we go chronologically and conclude the matter with all that information.
Okay. The ball is in your hands, sir.
Chair,
Those are questions that
there are questions there.
emanated from the petition.
Yeah.
And
And then you come to the statutory instrumental appointment finally, which you are showing us. And kindly read us because the file is here, the information is here. So show us where they are. And then
No, they don't have this information. Yes, their file doesn't have the information the petition has given.
but Chair, we
But they have the issues.
But they have the issues. The clerk brings the issues to them.
No, they have this, and that is
For example, the ED.
here, where he's
There was no interview. I'm very sure they don't advertise. So it's just out of clearing this.
These
We
issues,
are very sure. Then we go to the
Oh,
have them.
Okay, the issues are here. Okay,
these are now about number 5.
Now, members, can we allow the doctor to answer these questions? One by. Oh, they are here.
They are there.
Maybe we can guide him and to respond.
For example, the executive director, we can wait for the
We
minister.
can say.
Okay, for the executive director, that is for the minister. Then the deputy, we start from the deputy.
Chair, from the deputy to the HR,
Yes.
members have raised the need for evidence on how many, first of all, advancement, how many applied, how many were shortlisted. I want to request that we supply that information later,
Okay.
because we've got to extract that information from the
So right from the advert
yes,
to the shortlist
the shortlist,
and
to the interview,
and
then the final appointment.
Okay. Any other thing?
They might be different. This might each has a different point.
Yes.
Even the web, since they are here, you can send someone and we have these documents.
Chair,
We'll
Chair,
go
that's
one by
not
one, case by case, because it's different.
Even if we shall
So it's
get
not
the
possible.
documents, but it is not bad to
Can talk
highlight.
generally.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Information, Chair.
Yes, please.
He has said he's going to provide evidence. I
Yes.
just want to remind him to provide both internal and external evidence of the advertisement.
Okay.
No, these were external.
This is external.
These are external.
Yeah.
These are external. At that level, it's external.
Okay. First, a minute. As we are discussing, we're joined by Honorable Timu. And then Honorable. Okay, and also Terrible West. One of the agencies. Okay.
The information that has to be supplied also should entail the qualifications or the academic documents.
Honorable.
Generally, the file of the applicant.
I was saying Honorable Human Resource. I was saying.
Because the application generally is that
have you noted
people were
the?
not qualified. They were not qualified for those appointments. If you look at the petition, all of them, the accusation is that they were not qualified yet they were appointed for those positions.
Okay. Have you noted, madam? The list of things? If you are not sure, please ask. Because
No,
we-
Chair,
Chair, I have noted.
You have noted.
it is the entire cycle of the
Okay.
sourcing for
Mr.
the
Chairman,
Yes, please.
on bullet 3,
Before we go to bullet 3,
Mr. Dose,
on number 5,
yes,
yes, 1,
Mr.
2, 3.
Dose Wamgizi, who had been shortlisted, was informed on phone that he was shortlisted in error without stating the error. This prevented him from being able
The reason he has to be given. You have the petition.
So, just some clarification on this. Because there are things no one also carried in the petition. Is it true there was something someone will call, we will push the bike in also. Because
Yeah, we shall make the decision, but please, they are saying they are going to provide the whole cycle of recruitment. And for that one, it is in the petition, they will give the reason.
Chair, for the issue that a member has, honorable member has raised of Mr. Deus Muwangizi, I want to inform this independent committee that Mr. Muwangizi took the institution to IGG. IGG investigated this matter.
On the matter of recruitment?
On this particular
Okay.
Or Musimami. And produced the report clearing Mr. Musimami to be the candidate for that post.
Okay. Oh, they investigated the matter of Musimami and the Deus Muwangizi, and the conclusion was that.
So, Mr. Chairman, you should just give us a document, IGP clearance.
Okay.
As far as this is concerned.
Yes, please. IGG investigated? Just
cleared it.
So for that one, you will just bring us the
clearance.
The clearance and
the same with the human resource manager. Madam Susan Katkantunga.
That is number
4.
Number 5.
The last bullet.
Human resource Susan Katkantunga. Not yet listed. Was also investigated by IGG?
By the IGG and clearance given.
So you give us those matters.
How they were recruited.
Give us
the other documents, then also
okay. So for the others you provide.
Yes.
We are experiencing disappointment. So okay. Number 6, impunity. Impunity and insubordination.
I want to take you back on that page 3. The petitioners say they are experiencing, what they are experiencing is appointment that is solely dependent, not even on the executive director, but one Ben Manyin.
Pardon? That? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
That allegation there.
The appointment of the above people.
That was only by one person.
Okay, on the number 5.
Only
Appointments of those people were solely.
Okay. The allegation. Yes.
That allegation is a serious allegation.
Yes.
Because it is impinging on my integrity.
Yes.
And record. And through your mediation,
yes,
I would want you to request that you handle that issue.
Okay.
Because Ben Manyindo is different from executive director. All the matters here mentioned were done as executive directors based on my appointment to run that organization.
Okay. Okay, we are this matter is said, first of all, the language used was hard and it imputed bad motive on the ED. So we shall also seek more information.
It's not on the ED, sir.
On the Mr.
On Ben Manyindo.
I'm sorry, on Dr. Manyindo. Okay? So please, we shall interrogate the matter. Number 6.